Video 26 out of 28 on this late Monday evening. My name is Samuel Sadler. I am the CEO of Lion Rose Holdings, a property investment brokerage based in Liverpool city centre. Taking my lovely little cockapoo out, Jett, for a walk in the park this evening. I'm on the back of a really long day in the office, but I do look forward to doing these videos. And I'm on 26, so I've only got 2 left. So again, I have to think of something to crack on with, to do more of this. Even though you're probably getting sick of it now, to be honest. I'll give you a break, don't worry. But yeah, the question today is, why is it so important to seek legal advice when you're securing a buy-to-let property in the UK, or when you're purchasing a buy-to-let property in the UK? So the importance, to us, it's quite obvious. You know, you need to have legal representation to take you through what we call the conveyancing process after reservation. There's a lot of things that is involved with that. First and foremost, you know, we will give you the option to either, you know, you can use your own solicitor. Some investors have a relationship with a solicitor that they trust and they've used before on previous investments, of which we will absolutely advise that you use them if you're comfortable with that. You do have the other option of using the recommended solicitor. The recommended solicitor is usually somebody who we would recommend. So if it's someone we've got a relationship with that has conducted transactions on behalf of on behalf of clients that have bought through us in the past. So I wanted to make that clear, because a lot of investors and a lot of buyers, when they hear the term recommended solicitor, they always think that there's a connection, or there's some sort of biased. So they'll think that the solicitor's being biased in some way towards either the developer or ourselves. Now that's absolutely not the case at all. They're just recommended solicitors that we work with, that we have worked with on multiple transactions, and they've had fantastic reviews from our clients. So that is what a recommended solicitor is, and they're the 2 sort of options that you'll have after your reserve. Then you'll go through conveyancing, which is typically 4 weeks. Usually takes about 4 weeks, but you know, it can take 6 to 8. There can be some reasons for delays for exchange of contracts. You might need an extension in order to be able to maybe raise more funds, or, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be 4 weeks, 28 days you have to exchange contracts. You know, it can be relatively flexible. And the solicitors, like I said, they act on your behalf. They'll make sure that the legal framework is completely right for you, that you understand it, you understand what you're buying. And the most important thing, that everything up until that point has been that's been said to you, or what's been told to you about the property, is factual. And the solicitors will go through everything. They'll also, you know, they'll conduct what's called an anti-money laundering check as well, you know, on the funds that are being transacted throughout the whole transaction itself. So everything is completely legal. You know, everything is letting you sleep that little bit better at night. You know that you've bought a UK property under UK law, and everything was completely legal. And once you've exchanged contracts and completed on the property, you've bought a property knowing that everything's covered. Obviously they deal with everything. They'll deal with the land registry. They'll make sure that all of the contracts that I'm referring to are looked through with a fine-tooth comb. They then act on your behalf in the way of being there on the phone. They can talk you through certain aspects of the property transaction that you might want to hear from them, not necessarily ourselves. So again, it just allows you that added layer of security in knowing as an investor that what you're doing is completely legal. It's, like I said, completely above board. And that once you've exchanged contracts and once you have completed on the property, you know full well that it's all been done correct. So again, long day. Hope I've answered that in the best way. I am not a solicitor, so it is probably very difficult for me to articulate that in the way that they probably would. I am not one of them guys offshoots. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be, but I'm not. But again, always seek legal advice when purchasing buy-to-let property. So yep, Lion Rose Holdings, live well, invest better. Good night.